那么此时此刻呢，我们一同响起最为热情掌声，共同邀请出我们实信集团的总裁，我们的卡尔来到舞台上方，为我们进行精彩的致辞，为我们展望更多的美好前景和未来。掌声有请。
Good evening, everyone. 有中文吗？ Good evening, everyone. 睇到？ To our colleagues here in China, to our teams joining us from Mexico, Malaysia, and the United Kingdom, and to our partners and customers around the world who have made this journey possible. Welcome to a celebration 50 years in the making. Tonight, we gather not just to mark an anniversary, but to honor something far more precious than time itself. You know, people often say that time is the only thing that money can't buy, and that's true. We must cherish every moment, never waste it. But I want to tell you about something else that money can't buy. Something that has been the bedrock of success for half a century: trust. It doesn't matter how much wealth someone accumulates or how large their empire grows. What endures, what truly lasts through the trials of time, is reputation, integrity, and trustworthiness. These are the currencies that never depreciate. These are the investments that compound across generation. For 50 years, we have been living up to our founder's vision, treasuring these two priceless gifts, time and trust. Now, I must confess to you, I am, like all of you, beautifully and imperfectly human. This speech you're hearing tonight, I've been procrastinating on it for 6 months. Even as we planned this magnificent celebration, even as the day approached, I kept putting pen to paper tomorrow. It wasn't until 18 days ago that I finally began writing with the help of AI. Life has a way of happening, doesn't it? But when the moment arrives, when something truly matters, we find a way to get it done. We always do. And let me take you back to where it all began. The year was 1975. Hong Kong was a bustling crossroads of East and West, and two visionaries, my parents, decided to plant a seed. They called it season. And with nothing but determination and an unshakable belief in tomorrow, they began building something extraordinary. When our family immigrated to Canada for a better future, my parents faced an impossible choice: abandon their dream or find a way to nurture it from thousands of miles away. They chose the impossible. They chose to be present in two places at once: physically in Toronto, but spiritually and strategically still connected to Hong Kong. This was made possible by two things: trusted colleagues and technology. Picture this. Every night while we children were told to stay clear of the phone lines, my parents would have late night calls with the Hong Kong team. Every night. The sound of fax machines became the soundtrack of our household. Documents would arrive from Hong Kong, and my parents would discuss them for hours, building our business, one fax, one phone call, one act of trust at a time. When the internet arrived, that magical 56K dial-up modem with its unforgettable sound. We were among the first to embrace it. My father carried one of those enormous Motorola cell phones that made him look like a Hong Kong triad boss. We were always on the forefront of technology, not only because we were tech enthusiasts, but because technology allowed us to do what matters most. Stay connected to the people we serve and the values we cherish. I learned early that this business was about much more than manufacturing. It was about family. When I was 9 years old, I took my first trip to China for a trade show in Beijing. My job was to protect our plastic toy products called Zax. And I was taught by my parents, or my eldest sister Annie, to say in Mandarin, 请你不要动, which I thought meant, please don't touch. Only years later did I discover it actually means, please do not move. No wonder my Mandarin's still so poor. But that's the thing about family businesses. We learn together, we grow together, and yes, we make mistakes together. We moved to Kuala Lumpur as a family to expand season. I worked in the Toronto factory, earning minimum wage, but carrying the pressure of being the fastest on the line because everyone knew I was the boss's son. I climbed warehouse shelves with many of you in Dongguan in 1997, throwing things down as we helped move factories. Probably not the safest thing for a 13-year-old, but it taught me that leaders lead by examples, even if it means throwing kids on the production line. And through every challenge, we grew stronger. We weathered the Asian tiger crisis in 1997, SARS in 2003, the global financial crisis in 2008, and more recently, we've navigated social unrest in Hong Kong, COVID-19, and currently, the US-China trade tensions. Each storm tested us, but none broke us. Why? Because we understood a fundamental truth. Trust is earned, not given. It takes time to build, but can be lost in the blink of an eye. It's forged through shared experiences, through standing together when the winds howl and the ground shake beneath our feet. And today, we stand at another inflection point. Artificial intelligence is transforming our world at breakneck speed. Quantum computing looms on the horizon. Just as my parents embraced the fax machine and the internet, we must become an AI-first company. We must embrace these nuclear challenges while never forgetting that behind every technology is a human being. Behind every algorithm is a person who must be trusted. And this is our competitive advantage. We are vertically integrated, not just in our operations, but in our values. We control cost and quality across our entire product line. Our design capabilities served us brilliantly during the supply chain crisis of 2021 and 22. Our global footprint positions us perfectly now as countries realign their political stances and rethink where products should be manufactured. But most importantly, we have something no machine can replicate. Our core values. Be kind, be open, have fun. And let me tell you about the power of these values. Recently, I attended my son's Bradley's grade 5 graduation. The principal spoke about the importance of journeying through life with being kind as a central theme. As I listened, I realized this is exactly what Season Group represents. This is our North Star. These values aren't corporate slogans. They're reflections of what I learned from my parents. My heroes, the people I've always aspired to become. Even now, I watch them and I'm amazed by how they live these values every single day. Here's something beautiful. My father My father has difficulty hearing these days. But there's one voice that always gets through. My mother's. Even with our latest technology, iPhones, hearing aids, it's her voice that reaches him. After all these years, through every challenge, physical and emotional, he will always hear her voice. That's love. And that's the kind of connection that transcends technology. As we embrace super intelligent AI and quantum computing, we must remember what makes us irreplaceably human. Now, I want to thank the people who made this journey possible and worthwhile. To my executive leadership team, Stephen and Scarlett, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being there through thick and thin, for performing tasks well beyond your job descriptions, for being the hardest working people in our company. When C-level executives work the hardest and longest hours, it sets powerful examples for everyone. To our trusted team members, and you know who you are, thank you. In particular, I want to thank George. When I asked you to take over as Operations Director Asia, your response, no problem, monumental. Whatever the company needs, 公司需要乜, I'm there. And that means everything to me. To our customers, thank you for trusting us with your products and coming to us with your challenges. You make us better every day. To our partners, your continued support allows us to offer the complete value proposition that our customer deserves. To my wife, Sally, and our children, Bradley and Abigail, you remind me every day what I work for. Coming home to you, all stress melts away, replaced by love and purpose. To my parents, Patrick and Angela, for trusting me with your lifelong legacy. We will make you proud. The road ahead won't be easy. Recently, we had to say goodbye to valued team members. That wasn't fun, but it was necessary. The world is changing due to geopolitical realities. Businesses will never be the same. We must adapt. Technology will get us there, but our core values will guide us on how to do it properly. And here's what I learned from my son's graduation ceremony and from 50 years of Season Group. The destination isn't the only thing that matters. We must appreciate the journey, and more importantly, who we traverse with. If we're lucky, our fellow travelers are good people who make the journey more fulfilling. I can say with absolute certainty that on our journey so far, we've had excellent co-travelers. As we look forward towards the next 50 years, remember this. We may travel by horse, train, boat, plane, or self-driving vehicle. The mode of transportation will change. Technology will evolve, but it's the co-passengers, all of you, who make the journey worthwhile. We've built something remarkable together. We've created a company that doesn't just manufacture products. We manufacture trust. We don't just serve customers, we serve humanity. We don't just embrace technology, we harness it to amplify our most human qualities. So tonight, as we celebrate 50 years of Season Group, I ask you to remember, time is precious. Trust is priceless. Earn it every day. Technology is powerful. Use it wisely. But above all, remember that our greatest strength isn't in our factories or our systems or our AI capabilities. Our greatest strength is in this room, in our colleagues around the world, in the values we share, and in the love that binds us together across continents and culture. Thank you for being a part of our 50-year journey. And here's to another 50 years and beyond. Thank you.